Deuce, Atlanta, okay, they are an NFL worse. They're not one before last. An NFL worse, 0-6 against the spread at home this season. So they've played well at times, but it hadn't been necessarily in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
You want to know something else, Bobby, about Atlanta right now?
Tell me.
They have not beaten a team with a 500 record this year.
Hello? Okay, that's not an opinion. That's a fact.
They haven't beaten a team over 500 this year. Here's the thing. If Kyle Pitts, who is dealing with a hamstring injury, does not play, I don't see how Atlanta has a chance. He is, I think, one of the only, he and Mike Ditka.
Yep, that's
rookie tight ends that have went over 1,000 yards. We're talking about, not in a long season. We're talking about in a regular 16-game season. That's what he's been able to accomplish, and he's done the majority of this without Ridley being the receiver outside. So I think that you will get an effort out of Atlanta, but I don't know if it will be a good effort out of Atlanta. They will want to beat you. They will say everything right publicly and correctly. But at this point, what does Atlanta have to truly gain outside of saying, oh, yeah, we knocked New Orleans out? But guess what we did by knocking New Orleans out? We would actually have a better draft position than the Atlanta Falcons if they were to beat us on Sunday.
Right, and they're thinking of the future. I mean, look, the one thing, Deuce, I got to give Arthur Smith credit because they were 4-12 last year, so they're optimistic after 1 year under Coach Arthur Smith. Now, the one thing, if it's close, they've done a pretty good job. They did that against the Saints. They are 7-2 in one-possession games. So that's a real positive for the Atlanta going forward. Because, games are close. And one-possession games, they're 7-2. That's hard. That's a good accomplishment.
That's hard to do in this league.
Well, you're able to close, and that's what you're able to do when you think about it from that standpoint. I think also, though, Bobby, I mean, for me, when I see them, they've got to clean up their cap situation, and then they've got to hit on some draft picks.
Right. I think one of the things I give Arthur Smith a lot of credit for, too, is he found a role for Cordarrelle Patterson. And I think about Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, all these guys that tried with him, couldn't find the right
Bears,
role.
Yep.
And, man, he found it. And I give him full credit. He has gotten the most out of Cordarrelle Patterson, especially more on the offensive side.
And he's much more than just a famous kick returner. That when he came into the league.
Was always a great return man, but you were just trying to find the right spot for him. And that wingback position, kind of part wide receiver, running back, is exactly what he turned out to be.
Well, he's like a bigger version of Ty Montgomery, and
well, he's definitely a bigger version of it. But I think when you look at it, I don't know if most coaches saw him having that much of an ability as a running back. I mean, because he's a guy that just give him the football.
Yep.
He may not run great routes. He's not going to get a lot of separation when he's running routes. But you just got to figure out a way to give him the football because he produces. And I think that's probably the most impressive thing when you look at Cordarrelle. I mean, because being that big, once he gets going, he is a load.
Yep.
He is a load to bring down. And so, I think that they've definitely found a way to use him. And guess what? He's not signed on a long-term contract.
No, he isn't.
He was a free agent that they signed and said, hey, look, let's see if we can get something out of it.
Good news on the injury front for the Saints this week, at least. Ryan Ramczyk returning to practice as a limited participant. Still positive news.
Anything you can get out of him, you'll take it. Anything you can get out of him, you'll take it because he will make your offensive line that much better.
Now, Deuce, how about with Davenport? I'm like, I don't care if he don't practice. He knows what to do. I want him ready to roll on Sunday.
Bobby, he actually got hurt on this last Sunday. He went into the tent last week, but he had to stay in. I mean, it's not like we got 6 other defensive ends that are available and ready. So, it's like, hey, big fella, we all hurting out here. You got to go. And so he's been hurting the last couple of weeks, but I know he's dealing with an ankle injury. But he's going to have to go. I don't know if Peyton Turner and Passion are going to be able to come off of IR, but he's going to have to go. And so Holmes should be back this week to help a little bit. I mean, and he was actually there last week, but I'm just saying, you don't have a lot of defensive ends as far as depth like you kind of did. Granderson should be available as well.
You look at Taysom Hill, given opportunity, he is a winner. We all know that. and I look at his production, I don't think we can expect anything more. I'm looking as far as total yards, 265. I mean, I think he could throw for 200, 210 yards, maybe run for 50 yards, and he had 265 against Carolina. I think that's what you should get. Now, the reason why I bring that up because I was looking at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is averaging 210 yards passing, and I want to say about 55 yards rush. So to me, that's what I would expect out of Taysom and no turnovers. If he does that, then I think he's doing his job.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is no turnovers. And, to be able to continue to push the ball down the field, we just have to be more consistent at the receiver position and being able to convert. I mean, you can't go into a game not being able to convert at least third and medium, third and long, and you don't want to be in that situation long term anyway, but you have to have some type of confidence that you can convert some third, +6, +7 type plays, Bobby. You can't just say, hey, look, we've got to run the football because we can't convert, 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7.
Deuce, do you think it would be an absolute 50-50 crowd? And if so, would it be a big troll job? And I'm just for the Saints to do the Who Dat chant in Mercedes-Benz Stadium when they face the Falcons, because there's going to be a big presence of Saints fans there.
I think you're going to have better than that. I think you almost will have 60-40. I mean, it's not like Atlanta.
I agree there.
It's not like Atlanta is excited to go to this game.
Man, they worried about the Georgia Bulldogs right now.
They better keep worrying.
They getting ready for the national championship game. They are not necessarily concerned with the Atlanta Falcons, so I would not be one bit surprised for it to be 60-40 with Who Dat's all over.